In this video, I'll show you how to navigate the PI Coresight homepage and easily find displays. Remember, to navigate to the PI Coresight homepage, we'll simply need to do the server name where we have PI Coresight installed /Coresight, just like I've done here. Okay, and the first thing that I want to look at is I actually want to look over here and see how did I log in. In this case, I can see that I'm logged in as my individual user, Camille. And it's important to check this because different users will have access to see different displays in PI Coresight. So you want to know how you're connected. You'll also notice that I can see all sorts of displays that I have access to listed as thumbnails. And looks like there are quite a few displays. Let's take a look at some of them. So I can scroll down and see all the different thumbnails. And let's say I want to look at a particular display. Well, then I can just click on the thumbnail. And now I'm at that display. If I want to return to the PI Coresight homepage, I simply can navigate up here to go back to the homepage. I like how the thumbnail gave me an idea of what the display would look like. That made it really easy. At the same point, I might have a lot of displays showing up here. And if I'm trying to find a specific display or a type of display from a huge number, I'll want to leverage some of the search or display groups here to make it easy for me to quickly focus on what I'm interested in. So you can see that right now, by default, all displays was selected, and that's why I'm looking at all the displays I have access to. But I could use some of these other options. Let's take a look at some of those. Okay, so favorites. Favorites is basically all the displays that I have starred. So for example, I can add a display to my favorites by starring it here. Now, when I look at favorites, that display shows up. And I can move displays in and out of favorites by simply starring or unstarring them. I could also focus on the group of displays that I personally have created, or even displays that were recently created either by myself or by my colleagues. And finally, the last grouping that we'll see down here is any of our PI ProcessBook imported folders. So remember, with PI Coresight, we can see PI ProcessBook displays in PI Coresight. And we'll just basically do this by setting up a folder to import, and this is done on the Coresight admin page. So this import folder was set up, and we can see all the displays that were imported by this. And if you have multiple import folders set up, they would just show up right here down below. Now in my case, I'm going to go to the import folder because there is a specific PI ProcessBook display that we imported that has to do with our wind farm. And I really want to look at that display. Now you'll notice that there's still 30 displays from this folder. So how can I still quickly find the display I want? Well, I can use this search up here. Because of the fact that I am currently selecting the import folder, that means, as you can see here, what I'm searching is actually going to be just my import folder. So let me look for that farm display that I was thinking about. Okay, perfect. I found it right here, my farm overview. And in my case, I know I'm going to be using this display a lot, so let me actually go ahead and star it so I'm not spending time looking for it in the future. Now, I was using the search for a particular group of displays, but I can easily search through all the displays. Something that's recently come to my attention is that at another site, they're having some problems with the pumps. Now, I just heard this from a colleague, but I got the impression that there was a PI Coresight display that showed the problem, and I want to focus on trying to look at that so I can help them. Okay, so I don't know exactly where this display might be, so let me first try searching for pumps, because I know that the problem that they were having is with our pumps. Okay, so by searching for pumps, I found displays that start with pumps, but what if the display name doesn't start with pumps? Let me go back to the search and actually use a wildcard. I can enter an asterisk, and this will allow me to search for any displays that have the word pumps in them. Okay, so it looks like I picked up another display here, but this is one of my colleagues here, so it's not the display I'm looking for. You know what? I bet I can search for the displays based on who created them, and I'm guessing it was probably by the technical lead there. So let me search for a display created by her. So I'll enter her username. This is exactly what I was looking for, the Madison plant. And while this is about the pumps, clearly the name didn't have pumps in it, but I was still able to find it by searching by user. Now another way I might have been able to find this display is by using the filter by keywords option. When I filter by keywords, this will show me the different keywords that have been tagged on our displays, and I can select to filter by them. Let's say, for example, in our case, we knew it was about pumps, and it was actually at the Madison, so I'm going to add that keyword filter too. And let's take a look here. Yep, so even though the name didn't have pumps in it, it looks like the technical lead did actually add the keywords, so I still would have been able to quickly find this display. So I've been able to quickly find a lot of already existing displays, but what if there's not a display out there that shows what I want to look at? Well, I can go ahead and create a new display, which is what you'll see in the next video.